万门大学的小伙伴们，大家好，我是兰菲利博士，是莱特研究大学的应用神经科学教授。今天我很荣幸给你们介绍Judith Ray 博士的研究，就是爱情没有我们想象的那么简单。这个研究是跟阿德勒有关，他给我们介绍一个很重要的现象。很多人会有一些目标，但是其实这些目标其实并不一定能实现，而且很多时候这些目标会影响到我们的生活。那么今天 Judith 博士会给我们讲爱情的这些目标很多时候是错的，而且我们怎么样才能有一个更健康、更有趣而且更深入的爱情故事。
Love is messy. Love isn't some sanitized, clean, perfect kind of thing. It's really messy. True love isn't just these images we see in the movies where there's a couple running in slow motion across a field toward one another and then jumping into each other's arms. True love isn't just saying sweet things to one another. It's not like a perfectly synchronized dance where no one ever steps on the other person's toes and everyone moves perfectly together. That's not what true love is like. True love is full engagement. It's where you roll up your sleeves and you dig into the relationship and into yourself and really dig into the possibilities to know yourself and know your partner. True love includes saying beautiful things and hurtful things. It's sharing your love and your appreciation as well as your petty judgments and your darker sides. It's about being real and open and responsible. True love is just not this thing that the movies show it is. It's real. It really has bigger messes to it, but that's where the authenticity comes, and that's where the realness comes, and that's where the intimacy comes. And if you think about it, couples oftentimes, they don't want to fight. They don't want to have conflict. You don't want to have a fight with your friends. You don't want to have any tension in your relationship. But that's unrealistic. People are people. We have conflicting needs and wants all the time. It might even be going out with your friends and deciding where you want to go to get a meal, to go to dinner. Maybe you want a certain restaurant and they want another one. That's a little bit of conflict. How do we work those things through? We don't have to be as careful as we think we need to be in relationships. Relationships are not fragile. They're much more resilient. We don't need to be so careful and tiptoe around relationships. Many people come to us and people in relationship and they say, oh, we never fight. And we say, oh, that's too bad because you're missing out on the intimacy. Fighting where you can actually learn about yourselves and resolve the fight and learn more about you and your partner and your friends, that's really satisfying. So it's not fighting where it's just cruel to one another, but really allowing the tension to rise to the surface so that you can resolve it. What the studies show in relationship is that short-term discomfort of an honest but angry conversation actually is very beneficial to a relationship in the long run. That's McNulty's research. And also, early conflict in a friendship or relationship helps you weed out problems that could cause you bigger problems down the road. It actually brings out these situations and tensions that if you address them early, they won't have the long-term damage or impact that they might have further on down the road. In fact, in John Gottman's research, he found that it can look like if someone's in the beginning of a relationship and it's very peaceful in the beginning, they're very happy, think it's all wonderful, they can look really good. But actually what they found is like if they visit that peaceful couple that doesn't fight and keeps things kind of status quo, if they revisit that relationship 3 years later, those couples are often on their way to divorce or they're breaking up or have real problems in their relationship. So these early but honest fights and discomfort and really bringing that to the surface and knowing that you can weather those things, you can work things out, is actually much healthier for relationships. So really understanding that love is messy and being willing to get into the mess and really learn how to clean up your mess when you've been irresponsible is a very key relationship skill for intimacy. So let's accept it. Love is messy. It's not all sweet and nice and perfect all the time, nor does it need to be. What we do need to do is learn how to take responsibility for our messes when we've been irresponsible, to clean that up, but not to try to avoid the mess. That makes a relationship unreal and kind of fake and not intimate. So if we can accept the messiness of relationships in the first place, we might be more likely to jump in, to actually engage more fully, to actually have it be more real from the beginning. And this is so important because so many of us are so afraid of conflict and so afraid of tension, but it's okay. If we learn the skills to really work that through, that's where the juiciness and the intimacy comes from. Because, if you really understand this, getting things perfect or right in a relationship is not the point. What is important is engaging and re-engaging and trying things out and experimenting and learning from that and falling down and getting back up and re-engaging and mixing things up and trying things out. That's what real thriving relationships are all about. Really getting into the mess, knowing that the mess is part of the joy of relationships. Not something to be avoided, but something to be deepeningly engaged in. Get into that mess, because that's where the aliveness is. Think about when you're a little kid, when you're playing out with your friends, you probably got messy. You probably got dirty. You might have fallen down in the playground. You might have gotten mud on you. That's part of the fun. It's part of the fun in relationships as well. So get messy and have real love.